E-commerce. We're going to talk about what that is today. My next guest, I'm excited to introduce her, Veronica Jeans. One of the things that I think is amazing about what she is all about is she and her husband have been living on a boat for 8 years. Check that out. How many times have you thought that I would love to live on a boat, but you're not doing it? Well, Veronica and her husband are doing it. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that, about her journey. We're going to be talking about e-commerce. What is it? How can you make money doing it? She is the e-commerce queen. So let's welcome to the show, Veronica Jeans. Hello.
Hi. Hi.
It's so good to have you. You know, we've known each other for maybe 2-3 years. We've never met each other in person though. And
right.
I love watching what you're working on, how you're growing your business, how you're using this e-commerce to its nth degree, And yes. So what I'd love to do today is I'd love to talk about your journey of how did you get to doing e-commerce? Because you mentioned to me earlier how old you are, which I won't say. You have to get that out of her yourself. But when you were born, there was no such thing as e-commerce. We had that wasn't even an invention. So I'd love to hear your story of how you got into that. But first of all, let's talk about the boat. I want to get the boat out of the way. Okay. So you and your husband live on a boat. So first of all, how did you decide to do that? And how often do you bump into each other?
Well, it wasn't, we went from 4,000 square feet house to to a condo and then to a boat. So there's a huge difference of space. And I was always worried about the bumping part. I bump myself all the time, but you get used to moving your body. You get used to smaller spaces and it just worked. We tried it out. We bought a really old boat and we're fixing it. And it's a motor yacht and it's about, with all the extensions, about 50 feet. But you get used to it. You get used to a smaller space. You get used to a smaller cupboard or closet, as you call it. It's just, and my kitchen is tiny, I've got a tiny oven and a microwave, so you just, and the shower is tiny, but you just manage, as you're moving your body around, you just know you have only this much space and that's what you do.
And what's interesting about that is that people are very adaptable.
Yes.
That's the thing. We are adaptable. So what's happened is you moved yourself from one situation, 4,000 square feet, which is a pretty good size house. The biggest I've ever lived in is like 1,200. So, that's like 3 times larger than the house. But we went from like a 1,100 square foot house, sold 85% of our belongings and moved into a 28-foot fifth wheel trailer. So I get it. And it's adapting. Is all it is, adapting to your new lifestyle. But that's fabulous. I want to know what's on your guys' radar for where right now you're in the Gulf, right?
Yes, in the Gulf. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's the vision? Where are you going to be next year? Do you have any idea, or do you just go where the wind takes you?
No. That would be nice. So we have been in the marina for 8 years, and we've taken the boat out, and and I have to tell you as well so what I did was I did all the marketing and the social and the website and everything for the marina, and I got our slip for free. So we have been living rent-free, no electricity, no water, no internet, for 8 years. So you got to adapt, right? You got to use your skills. But my vision is we're going to be in the Bahamas next year. I'll be doing my live from the back of my deck and in the middle of the Bahamas. It's going to be absolutely awesome. And maybe, cruising up the East Coast and coming back down again. So, yeah.
That's so cool. I love it. Well, how big is your boat?
It's about 50 feet. So just the boat part, it's got a swim platform and it's got the anchor in the front. Just the boat is about 43 feet. So it's got 2 cabins. I've got 2 full shower bath areas, and a tiny kitchen, a nice size lounge. These old boats make a lot of use of the internal space, not like the modern boats. So we've got a lot of space. And it's got 2 decks.
2 decks. Okay, so at what point is a boat considered a ship? Like you're close.
100. No. 100
you're not.
feet.
100 feet. Well,
yeah, and so if it's a ship, by 100 feet. Oh, well, you know what? I don't know. I just know when it gets to 100 feet, you need to have a captain's license. Before that,
Oh,
you don't need a captain's license, which is crazy, right? In Europe, you have a tiny boat, you have to have a certificate. Here, any idiot can drive a boat. It's crazy.
like even we did.
I know, right? I can do it, and I don't even know how to maneuver the gear things.
Oh my God, it's been 8 years.
I'm still practicing.
I love that. Well, that's so awesome. So awesome. Well, okay, I'm going to switch gears now because really
Okay.
we wanted to talk about e-commerce today because this is what you do. I'd love for you to explain to people, first of all, what is e-commerce? And just so you all know, at the end of this broadcast here, we're going to be giving away a free something. I don't remember what it is. So you'll have to remind us what it is. But we're going to talk about e-commerce because this is a topic that, especially with COVID-19, all of us, I shouldn't say all, but a large majority of the entire world is working from home right now.
Yeah.
There's an opportunity out there. There's lots of opportunities out there for you to make money, to shift, to see what you can do. And e-commerce might be the answer for you. So Veronica, explain to us, like, what is e-commerce? How did you get into it? And how can I make money doing e-commerce? That's really all I care about. I don't care about the other things, but no, I'm just kidding.
Yes, no. It's important. If you want to get into something, you need to decide it's business, right? You need to make money. That's the bottom line. Whatever you're doing, you need to make money. So e-commerce really is. I think they chose the name because from commerce, and they just put the E on it, so that became e-commerce. And it's like having an online business, and specifically having an e-store. So being able to sell products, whether it's digital products or I sell courses and all sorts of things on my website, and you go to a checkout and you can put your credit card in and boom, off it goes and you get the money. So that's e-commerce, right? And then, so how did I get into it? It's very interesting. So I in 2008, recession, my company collapsed, lots of drama. And was the Ike and all sorts of other things happening, and bad partners. And now, so what I decided, I want to do something different. I want to start my own business. I'm going to start an e-commerce store, and I'm going to sell something online. So, but I didn't know what to sell. It's very hard to decide what to sell, right? It's you have ideas, but you think, well, so many people are doing it. But we'll come back to that as well. And so I called the shopping cart, this one specific shopping cart, and I said, hey, and I talked to the sales guys, and he started sending me clients. And I thought, this is cool. I can handle this. So I forgot about selling things online, and I just started helping e-commerce business owners to open the businesses, to make more sales, to put everything properly onto the e-commerce store, and so that their customers can have an exciting journey to get their credit card out and start paying. And that's the main thing, is get customers and get them to start paying with their credit cards.
Yes, please.
And as I said, it's really hard to decide what to sell, because if you think of something, somebody else is already doing it, whether they're small or big companies. But I say, forget about it. Just do it. Because if you, and it's like any business that you start, you can go from one thing and then go, wow, there's another opportunity. Maybe I can sell this. So you'll have some experiences, and you might just hit the right thing at the right time, and it just goes nuts. So you know what? 3 Christmases ago, maybe 4, maybe 5, I don't know. There was this guy or whoever sold a rock in a leather satchel. It went viral. They sold out millions of these stupid things. This is what I'm saying. You just never know what. I mean, remember pet rocks? They come back into fashion again. Who would think? Pet bloody rocks, right? So you don't know what's going to hit. Whether you're selling T-shirts with sayings on them, you just have to. The secret is to get customers to your website. And when you get customers to your website, you got to give them information so they can buy your products. And these days, just putting your website out there is not going to work. Unfortunately, you have to invest in your business, and that means paid advertising. Whether you do it on Facebook, Instagram, or Google, it doesn't matter. You have to do it, right? Otherwise, who's going to know you're online? So,
Yeah.
and then, it depends on how much money you spend. So I was one of famous Ezra Firestone. I don't know if he's still in the business or not, but he does Boom Cindy. They spend $1.5 million on advertising a month.
A month.
A month.
Okay, well, let's bring it down a little, because I don't really have that much disposable cash. But so let's bring it back to the beginner, because now when I hear that kind of number, I might be thinking that, well, God, I could never do it. But so what you're saying is just do it. And I think that's the key here, because this is women action takers. We're all about taking action. And sometimes it's inspired action. Sometimes the action wasn't the right action, but you won't know if it was the right action or not if you didn't do it.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. Just do, and you can do, I have clients that do it on a baby budget, $5 a day, shut it down, start it again. But you just have that movement of people coming out. I mean, obviously you got to do the social and the emails and all this other stuff as well. But just start it. I mean, I've had successful little e-commerce clients that started out from $45 a month to $3,500 to $4,000 a month. Okay. Or I've got them starting from nothing to $250,000 a year. So it is, the possibilities are there. But the secret is, there's another secret. That is,
tell us the secret.
I know, right? I don't know whether I should or not. It's the effort you put into your business is the effort you get out. Right?
Yeah, because there's a lot of people out there who are thinking that social media, just posting on Facebook or on Instagram, LinkedIn, or whatever, that is going to make their business boom. And it's going to make it boom. Literally, not boon, but it's going to make it boom. But that's not enough, was what you're saying, especially for this e-commerce. Now, I guess it probably depends on what you're doing. Social media does work for some people, but it doesn't work for everybody, and it doesn't work for the vast majority of everybody. So that's the key here.
So and this is what I say is, we used to do networking where you go to an event and you shake everybody's hands and you connect and you refer and you go and shake somebody else's hand. So you collect all these customers one by one. Then, or you open up your retail store and you're waiting for people to walk in, right? But so you're going to take your retail store to events and show your products. It's the same thing. But so then it was like 7-8 touches, you can get a sale. Nowadays, with so much information overload, it's 21 touches.
Whoa.
But I'm not saying that you have to do 21 different platforms, is the amount of touches. So your sales can be, somebody sees you on Facebook, then they see you on Instagram, and then they see you on LinkedIn, and then they check you out, and then they go away again, and then you email them because they're giving you your email, and then they go away, and then they come back again, and they see you on Google, or they do a search, and so they're hopping around. But if you're not in front of your customers all the time, while you're hopping around and then you stop, somebody else is going to pop up in front of them, and they're going to buy it because you've shown them the product, but you have not been in front of them at the right time.
Yeah. And I'm sure that happens a lot, right? In various industries. And it is because you're not remaining consistent, right? You're not remaining consistent.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you have to be top of mind. Like when they're ready to break out their credit card, they might not be ready to break it out that first time. And most likely they won't be. But when they're ready to, and they go to search for that thing, if you're top of mind, they're going to search for you.
Yes.
But if you're not top of mind, they're going to search for that thing.
Yes, exactly. Because it's a product, right? So
Yeah.
whoever's in front of them, they go, "Oh, yeah, I need this. Somebody's reminded me all the time, and I see this thing floating around." But boom, so, and then they buy it, and then you lose out. And so
Right.
you have to be. And the other thing that I push as well is, funny enough, for e-commerce, is blogs. And I hate to call it blogs, right? It's probably news, articles, information for your customer, because it's easier to stay in front of your customer if you're writing articles about your product, about, skincare, for instance. So you're writing all about tips on how to clean your face. As I said to my skincare lady, I've been cleaning my face for a long time. I've been cleaning my face since I was 12 years old. My mom schlepped me to the beautician or esthetician, whatever it's called. But you still don't really, with new things coming on the market, you think, now, how do I put this on, right? Show me how to do it. Tell me how to do it. So it's all about information. So from a blog, the information that you put out there in your emails, your Facebook, your social, you're pulling people back to your website. So you're giving them information about your products, about what you do, your story, whatever. And so you can then get them to maybe sign up for an email. Now you know that they're interested in your product, and now you can email them, right? So it's just all the different ways of pulling people into your website. And you know that the conversion rate on e-commerce, only the big guys are like 6%, right? But the conversion rate on a small business is from 0.5% to about, if you've really been in business for a while and you're doing really well, 3%, right?
Wow. So
So
3% of the people who see your product will buy it like that?
yes,
So
yes.
you need to get in front of lots of eyeballs.
Lots of eyeballs. And that's why I say that consistency is huge. That 21 times of, hey, here I am, here's another email, here's another post, just staying in front of them, just telling them, hey, people, I'm out here. This is what I'm selling. So I think somebody said, hey, behind me. But anyway,
You're like, who is that? Yeah.
yes.
So what's interesting is just yesterday, somebody
Mm,
reached out to me. I don't know this person. I'm not even their friend on Facebook, but I have my Facebook open to the public.
yes.
And they sent me a message, and I didn't know what they were talking about
Hmm.
because it's a video I did 2 years ago.
Yes.
So I did this video 2 years ago and I was talking about something, and they reached out to me about it and they said, hey, I'm thinking of doing like fruits and vegetables. I think is what it was. I was like, what are they talking? What are they talking about? Well, they just watched my video from a couple years ago. And
Yes.
so that's the point there, is that like when we're putting stuff out there, we don't
Yes.
know when
Yes.
somebody's going to come across it. So it's really just a matter of, putting it out there, even if you feel like you're talking to crickets, even though you feel like,
Yes.
that nobody's hearing you, still just keep putting it out there, because nobody's going to hear you if you don't put it out there.
I know.
Like,
And so, yes, so here's something, an example. So with my recruiting company, I had this guy working for me as one of my recruiters. I had about 5 or 6 of them. And so he's been noticing me online, and he worked for 2 of my companies. And then I shut everything down, and I, went off and did my own thing. So with publishing my book, I was contacting everybody, hey, please, please, please download my book. Please give me a review, so keeping in contact with people. And then he pitched up the other day and he said, Veronica, I want to talk to you. And he wants to sell something online. And because he just got laid off. So he says, I'm at the age where I don't want to have a boss. I want to manage my own wealth, right? And so he's in my workshop now. I mean, having a blast, and I'm teaching him how to get his product out there and up and running. And he hasn't even decided what to buy yet. He's just decided what niche he's going to be in and what he wants to do. So he's actually going to, I don't know, cycle or something like that, and then get very fit and show people how to do it, and then sell the products.
okay.
So that's a brilliant idea, right?
Yeah.
So,
I love it. I love it, because he's going to be taking people on a journey with him. And
yes,
along the way, he's going to say, oh my God, I tried this, whatever. And
yes,
I loved it, or I tried it and it wasn't so good, but you should try it yourself.
Yes,
kind
exactly.
of thing, right? Right.
Yes.
But taking people on the journey, I love that. I want to talk about one last topic before we go, and that is staying on top of trends. Because we were
Oh,
talking a little bit earlier about, there's a shift that has to happen right now because
yes.
e-commerce is changing. There's some information out there that's making it change. But let's talk about the trends and how do we stay on top of the trends?
Go to Google and Amazon. So literally, you can actually see what is trending online, what people are buying on Google and on Amazon. See bestsellers, see what's selling. But you can't, and here's, I want to pick on Mark again. You can't just sell anything. People tend to go, oh yeah, I can sell all these products and they'll sell because they really sell well. You also have to be a little bit passionate about your product because you have to sell your product. You have to be out there talking about your product, saying, this thing that I'm using is absolutely amazing, right? And then you have to write about it. You have to find photos and you have to think about how am I going to present this to my customers and what is this product actually, what's the problem it's actually going to solve? Am I going to be wrinkle free or, so you have to think about your product and you have to be sort of a little bit enthusiastic about it. So just selling all sorts of weird and wonderful products on your website just confuses your customer. So you have to really think of a niche, and then it's preferably start small. Baby steps. I always say baby steps, because when you're doing those baby steps and you start nibbling away at it and you start testing things out, and then you'll go, this actually works. And then also ask people, you know what? It's amazing. You can get so much information back from people. Then you say, you know what? Are you guys interested? Would you buy this? You can pre-order, right? So just ask. And
Yeah.
a lot of people tend to jump on a product because this is the best thing since sliced bread and this is going to do amazing. And then they're disappointed because it's not selling. Sometimes it's not the right time, so it, you know what, nothing is right or wrong. You just try it out and then look what people are buying, and why not jump on the bandwagon? If you are enthusiastic about something and somebody's really doing well, jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, just because somebody else is selling it doesn't mean you can't sell it. And that's like a great example is I love to use the example of toilet paper, and it has nothing to do with COVID. But if you go into a grocery store, like there's a whole entire aisle that's just a whole bunch of different brands of the same exact product. And
Yes.
so the point here is
Yes.
that there are a lot of people selling the same thing. But so people will be attracted to you based on your personality, based on that's why the blogging is important. Doing these
Yes.
videos is really important.
Yes.
All of these things add to your credibility. But I do have one last question before we go, before my last question. Okay, so veronicajeans.com, and that's Veronica, Jeans.com. Go there. Veronica has a free checklist for your e-commerce business. Go ahead and plug in your name and email address to get your free checklist. If you're thinking about, having an e-commerce store, you want to even just like learn a little bit more about it. Is like, how do I do this? Is this right for me? Go check it out. Go download her free download. And then also, Veronica, you have something else on your website, right? You have another gift. Get it, your strategy session now. What's that all about?
So I have people just call me and we will talk about your idea. And I will tell you if it's viable or not, whether it's not a good idea or it is a good idea, how you should start, and maybe give you other ideas. I'm really good at when people come with ideas to me going, you know what, this might be, I'm getting very enthusiastic behind something that is a great idea, because sometimes you just need that little bit of verification to say, you know what, she said it was a good idea, let's go for it, right?
Yeah, and that's that action step. Okay, so my final question. Okay, my second to final question: Shopify or Amazon, and why?
Okay, Amazon is a marketplace. So I want to compare Amazon to Walmart or to your grocery store. You are renting space on their shelves. They can shut you down. They can kick you out. They can do anything. They can charge you more. You're not in control. Shopify is an e-commerce platform, but it's like WordPress. You own your website, right? It's your business. Nobody can shut it down. Etsy, they can shut it down. Amazon, they can shut it down. Facebook, they can shut it down, right? And I know of somebody, their business on Etsy was shut down overnight without telling her, and she was making $150,000 a year. She woke up the next morning, done, dead. And there's nothing.
I guess that answers that question.
Yeah. So, but
Shopify for the win.
Yes, but so you own your own business, right? You have Shopify, you have your core business. Now what you do is now you put your products on Amazon and on Facebook and Instagram and Walmart or wherever you can. That's what you do. And Shopify, you can actually connect your products automatically to these marketplaces, except for Etsy. Etsy does their own thing. But you should, yes, exactly. You should have your products everywhere, because as I said, it takes 21 touches, right? But have your own core business that you literally own. Nobody can take it away from you.
That's diversification to the nth degree. Yes. Big time. I love it. Okay, so the question I love to ask all of my podcast guests, and that is, what is one action step the audience can take today, tomorrow, or next week to uplevel their business and or personal life?
On e-commerce?
It's a question.
Okay. So I would say is make a decision and start. Literally start. And so I listened to something many years ago on a record, by the way, and this old Jewish psychologist said, a lot of people are probably talking about it, but he said, he was the grandfather of this. He said, if you don't start today, in 6 months or a year, you're going to look back and say, I should have done it. Right?
And don't shit all over yourself.
I know, you got to start, because it's going to be exciting.
That's such a great action step, and that applies to everything in life, right? Whether it's your personal life, like if you're looking at somebody and you're like, "Ooh, they're kind of hot," and then you just go home and you don't do anything about it, you didn't start, But yeah, so making a decision. I love this because that's, again, what Women Action Takers is all about. It's all about taking action. So we can hope, dream, wish, desire, manifest, pray. We can do all of that stuff. But when it's staring us right in the face, if we don't take that action to make it happen, nothing is going to happen. It's the action and the law of attraction that makes things happen. We attract it to us, but we got to take action. So make a decision. Go for it. Veronica, I love it. This is great, great tips. You guys go to Veronica Jeans, and that's JEANS.com, and go download that free product, and then go hop on a call with her, see how she can help you to create your e-commerce business. And thank you for being here, the e-commerce queen. I just love it. I love it. It's great seeing you again. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the Bahamas next year.
Oh yeah, we're going to be in the Bahamas doing an e-commerce masterclass, and it's going to be, and there's free diving. We're going to offer diving, and my husband just said we can go diving, and he'll take everybody out on the boat. So we are planning on it.
There we go. So download her free stuff, even just to get notified of that. You want to download it just so you get that. Oh, I love it. I love it. So thank you so much for being here. And, ladies and gentlemen, go out there, take action in your life, change your life. Nothing changes if you don't change. It all starts with you, and it all starts with making a decision. Just like Veronica said, we got to make a decision to make a change. So go out there and do it. And everybody have a great day.
Absolutely.